Learn English with Afra. Advanced English phrases and words. Good morning, everyone. As promised, we're here with the teacher Michelle once again. Hello, teacher.
Hello, Lisa. Yes, I'm happy to be here with you one more time. Although.
Yes, I know. I know you have classes today, that's why we came here to the Institute. But don't worry. It's gonna be just some minutes. The subscribers asked for it.
I know, Lisa. And I'm happy to help all our students. So, let's start, then.
Thank you, teacher. We are here so you teach us advanced phrases and words in English.
Sure. It's important to learn new advanced phrases and words to improve your English. We'll start with phrases for being poor or rich. For example, he's short on cash. It's like saying I don't have much money. For example, I'm short on cash. I can't lend you money. I'm sure you know the expression. I'm broke. It's used when you want to say you don't have any money. My bank account is overdrawn. It is when I have used more money than I could. Another good expression is, he is just scraping by. It means, he is just barely surviving on little money. Or when you earn the minimum salary, we say he makes minimum wage. By the way, what is the minimum wage in your country? I'm curious to know that. Another good one is, he is pinching pennies. It means to spend as little money as possible. Now, if you have a lot of money, you can say, I am very wealthy. I have much money. Or a similar one is, I'm quite well off. Also means, I have a lot of money. There are many more expressions to express these kind of things. Do you know any other one? Remember, I'm teaching you phrases you can use in real life. Everyday life phrases. Some of us live in dangerous places, so we can say, the crime rate rose. Yes, there are some phrases to talk about the statistics. It's very important. The crime rate went up. It means the crime has increased in your city, which is really bad. Or if you're luckier, then you can change it for the crime rate went down. That would be fantastic. Or if it's the worst case scenario, you can say, the crime rate reached its peak. It means the crime reached the highest level possible. That's something terrible. But it is a reality in many countries and cities, Lisa, so these are expressions you use in a real conversation. But let's talk about positive things for a while, some ways to say someone is talented. Like I was born to. For example, I was born to be a teacher because I love what I do. You were born to be a reporter. Because I can see that you have a passion for it. Many students come to me and say, Teacher, I wasn't born to speak English. Come on. Everyone can be able to speak English with practice and dedication. We had some videos about that topic in the channel. I recommend you to watch them. A similar expression is, he is a natural or he knows it inside out. to express that the person knows something really well. Or I know it like the back of my hand. That's a very common expression. Now, if you want to sound more formal, then you can say, she's a walking encyclopedia of philosophy, for example. Now, I will tell you some phrases for telling someone to wait. Pay attention. Could you give me a minute? Is the most common, but not the most advanced. You can say, hang on a sec. Or just a sec. That's informal. Hold on. I'll be right with you. Not so fast. Hold your horses. These phrases are not very difficult, but they are very useful in real-life conversations. Oh, by the way, the last two phrases are used for cautioning someone to wait and not make a bad decision. Now, let's talk about phrases for estimating and guessing. Really important. For example, if I had to take a guess, I'd say you're 30 years old.
You were close. I am 32 years old. But very good.
Another one is, it's difficult to say, but I think he is not the love of your life. Or you can use expressions like, it's about 10 miles, or it's around 2 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if you decide to get married. Or there is a good chance it will rain tomorrow. I have a feeling. For example, I have a feeling the boss won't be happy tomorrow. Or one of the most popular, I bet. I bet you bought that jacket in the mall. Now, I will teach you some phrases or decisions. It is also very important. If you are not sure about taking one decision between two options, you can say the following. I'm debating between, for example, I'm debating between going to the movies or stay at home. Another good one is I can't make up my mind. To say you can't decide. I'm having second thoughts. It means I'm reconsidering my decision. I changed my mind. When you take a different decision. Looking back, I know it was the right decision. When you want to say you took the right decision. Or if you don't want to assume any responsibility, you can say, it's up to you. Which means it depends on you. Or you can take that decision for me. I know some of these phrases can look simple, but using them will help you sound more advanced. Now, I would really like to give you more phrases, but I have a class in 2 minutes. But if you like this video, we can make another one for next week. It's up to you, guys.
Exactly, if you like another video with advanced phrases and words in English. Then like this video and let us know on the comments. Thank you so much. Oh, you can also tell us which type of phrases or situations you'd like.
This conversation, if you could improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel.
And share this video with a friend, and if you want to support this channel. Improve English speaking skills every day. Hello, teacher. Do you remember me? I am Lisa, your former student.
Lisa? Oh, sure. I was your teacher last year. Of course I remember you. How are you?
I'm good, teacher. Did you know I traveled to the USA this year? I just got back from my trip.
That's great. I remember you told me you were going to travel. Congratulations. Then, you had the chance to practice your English. You have put into practice everything you have learned.
Yeah, so. I mean, I could speak English, but it was not good.
What do you mean? You have advanced English level. Weren't you able to communicate?
No, well, I could, but it's different, teacher. I can't understand a native English speaker very well. They speak very fast. I understand just a few words and I can't answer them properly. I need to speak English like them. That fast. That's why I'm here. I need your help, please.
I see. Then, you need to speak like a native English speaker and also understand what they say. Don't worry. I have some minutes before I go back to classes, so I will help you.
Really? Oh, thank you so much, teacher. I will pay attention. I promise.
It can be very frustrating when you don't understand native speakers. I know that. Especially if you've been studying English for a while or like you. You finished studying English. When you get into a conversation and need to keep asking someone to repeat or slow down, it can feel demoralizing. But the first thing you have to do is to be patient. Give yourself some time to get used to the person's accent, and also to the ways in which native speakers stress some words, reduce other sounds, or connect sounds. So, to understand English speakers better, you will have to learn about linking and elision. To sound more flowing and fluent in English, speakers use linking and elision. Most of the time, when a word ends in a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel in a sentence, we link them together like one long word instead of two or three separate words. For example, if I say, most of it was open, that sounds choppy. But if I use linking, I will link the ST at the end of most to the O at the beginning of. Mostov. Then I'll link the V sound at the end of to the I at the beginning of it. Of it. We take the final consonant of the first word and attach it to the second word at the beginning. So instead of most of it, each were said separately, it becomes most of it. Like one long word with no breaks in between. Most of it, let's say twice together. Most of it, most of it. Similarly, I'll link was open as well. This becomes was open, let's say twice, together was open, was open. Elision is when a word ends in a particular consonant and the next word begins with the same consonant. And so we elide or omit the consonant at the end of the first word. For example, I got to see the play last night. Instead of saying got to separately, I ran the words together and leave off the T at the end of God. I go to, see the play last night. Say it with me. I go to, see. Excellent. What else? Oh, listen for assimilation to improve your English comprehension. Speech assimilation is the process where sounds in separate words change when they are put together in speech to make it easier to say. For example, I can say handbag as two separate words. I have a handbag. Handbag. But usually in quick speech, handbag becomes handbag, handbag. The D is omitted and the N modifies to a lip together sound M to make it easier. To get to the B, which is also a sound made with the lips together. I have a handbag, handbag. What else? Oh, be an active listener. To understand native speakers well, you need to concentrate when you listen. It's not enough to think that your listening skills will improve if you just have a radio playing in the background, for example. What I mean is, decide to listen to something in audio track, song, podcast, video, etc. And then listen to it more than once so that you can be sure you understand. Do you get it? You'll also find that when you listen, it will become easier to identify typical English pronunciation, such as word stress, sentence stress, and connections between words. But also, your own English pronunciation will improve as you begin to pick up these elements of pronunciation. The students I have taught with the best pronunciation are those who regularly watch and listen to native English speakers in TV series and films. Seriously. Many people think that traveling or living in an English-speaking country is enough to speak like a native speaker, but that's not truth. It helps, yeah, of course, but it's not enough. There are many people who don't speak English well. They live there, but they can't communicate well in English. Many students from this channel live in the USA, so that means it's not enough just to live there. So, don't think that, just because you travel to other country, you'll speak their native language well. You need practice, dedication. Oh, it's very late. I need to go to my class.
Teacher, you have helped me a lot. Seriously. I will do everything you said. I promise. But I need more tips to know how to speak English faster, please. Can I come tomorrow?
Of course. If you also want to know how to speak fast English, like this video and comment.
You liked this conversation. If you could improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel. And share this video with a friend, and if you want English conversation practice.
Good morning, Lisa. I want to talk to you. Do you have a minute or are you in a hurry?
Morning, teacher. I have to go to my class right now, but tell me, what's up?
I checked your exam and you have a lot of mistakes. You need to practice more, or
My exam? I don't think so. I have been studying a lot for that exam, teacher. Can you please tell me what mistakes I made? I need to know in order to get better, right?
Sure. And I will do it because I don't want you to fail at learning English. Let's see. Well, to start, it's normal to make mistakes when you learn something, especially a different language. Something I checked in your exam was the use of yet and still. You made a mistake with that. This is one that actually my students are confused about sometimes, and I also got confused in the past. Let's see. Still is something that started in the past and continues through the present. For example, are you still watching that show on TV? The one you were watching yesterday. And yet, it's something that we want, but it hasn't happened. The difference is pretty clear. For example, haven't you seen that show on TV yet? I don't think you have seen it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, teacher. I don't can speak English very well.
That's another mistake you made. When we use the modal verb can, we don't use any auxiliary verb. So, it's incorrect to say I don't can or I don't can't. The correct way is I can't remember that. And also, double negative is not correct. Native speakers will sometimes use double negatives when they shouldn't. Like I don't can't or I don't have no food in my refrigerator. It's I don't have any food in my refrigerator.
Wait a minute. But there is a song. Essay is a song. I don't need no money. That's a double negative. And the singer is a native English speaker. How's that possible?
Native speakers will sometimes use double negatives when they shouldn't. That's one example. For example, I don't need no money to have fun. But it's grammatically incorrect. I still understand the meaning that you can have fun without having money, but the correct way to say it would be I don't need any money to have fun. You will listen a lot of mistakes from native speakers. But it doesn't mean that's the right way to talk. Still, you need to know those mistakes too.
Oh, I understand that now. Well, you need to understand, teacher. I have never been in USA.
And that's another mistake. When we're talking about traveling, we say to a place. Don't say, I've been in the US, say I've been to the US. If you ask someone a question, you would say, have you ever been to the USA?
You're right, teacher. Can I ask you a question, please? I never understood something. The difference between in and into. I don't know when or how to use it. Should I say, I live into a city or I live in a city? I don't understand the difference.
Oh, it's very common for students confused with that. I'm gonna explain it to you. Don't worry. We would use into if there is movement involved. For example, I am in the classroom. No movement. I am going into the classroom. There is movement, that's the difference. Often if you're using the verb going, it indicates movement, so you could use into because it suggests movement. And in your case, you would say, I live in a city. Because there's no movement.
Oh, that's clear for me now. Thank you. I like to listen to you, teacher. I learn a lot.
Oh, I will take this opportunity to correct a very common mistake. You said listen you, which is not correct. These verbs, look at, search for listen to. I often hear people forgetting, or not saying these three verbs that really need prepositions after them. The prepositions are very small, and when you hear people say them in everyday conversation, you may not even hear them because native speakers say them quickly. And it sounds like they are not even there. But they are there. Look at me. Listen to me. Search for the answer. That's the correct way. You can hear them, but in a sentence they become smaller and we say them very quickly.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah, I usually make that mistake, teacher. I'm sorry. I'm just a student. Obviously, you're more smarter than me. That's why.
Double comparatives. Another mistake. Don't say more smarter or more uglier. That is incorrect, and native speakers are often guilty of this. Just say smarter, uglier, better, faster. And don't add more. It's not necessary. And what is worse, more beautifuler. No please.
Oh, you're right. I'll never make that mistake again. You are too intelligent, teacher.
I think you should better say, you're so intelligent. A lot of English learners confuse too and so. For example, I like your dress too much. That's not correct. If you use to in this way, it's actually something negative, where you feel like it's a bad thing. That you like the dress too much, more than you should. That doesn't really make sense. What you actually mean to say is, I like your dress so much. In this sentence, so is similar to very. Too means in excess, so many times too much isn't a good thing. Do you understand?
Oh, sorry about that. I have a friend that lives in England and he usually makes that mistake.
You mean your friend who lives in England. If you're talking about people, use who. For example, I just texted my friend who is from France. Many people do say that. And to be honest, it's generally acceptable. But it's more correct to use who when you're talking about people. Well, I think and that was enough for today. Didn't you have a class? It's very late.
Yes, but I want to stay here listening to you. Please keep correcting my mistakes.
Okay, but maybe some other time. Only if our subscribers like this video.
Sure, I'm sure they love it. They will let us know on the comments.
I hope you liked this conversation. If you could improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend and if you want.
Improve English vocabulary. Hello, teacher. I have been looking for you the whole morning. Finally, I found you.
Hello, Lisa. Were you looking for me? Well, here I am. What can I do for you?
I'm tired, teacher. I try and try, but every time I have to use a new word, I don't remember it.
I don't understand. What do you mean? You can't learn new words in English?
No, I mean, when I see a word for the first time, I can use it, but then, the next week, I want to use that word again in another sentence, but I just can't remember the word. I'm talking about more advanced words. Because I already speak basic English.
I think I get it now. You can't memorize new vocabulary in English. Advanced vocabulary. So, that's why you always use the same basic words. I understand you now.
That's correct. And I need your help with that, please. What can I do? I can't keep talking basic English. I need to speak advanced English. Help me, please.
Yeah, I get it. Don't worry. I will help you. Pay attention.
Really? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help, teacher.
You know I am not a native English speaker. Like you, I had to learn English long time ago. 18 years ago to be exactly. So, I know what you're talking about because I had the same problem. Learning basic English was not difficult for me. I was always good at English. So I could speak English in a very short time. I mean, basic English. I was happy. But then with the time I realized it was not enough. My level of English was not enough to communicate with native English speakers. Because they don't speak just basic English. So I had to memorize new advanced English words. But it was very difficult for me. So, in this video, I'm not gonna give you many technical tips. Not this time. I'll tell you what exactly worked for me, and maybe it could work for you too, Lisa. Something that worked for me was to use the new word as soon as possible. How is it? Well, imagine you learn a new word. The word forsake. Do you know what it means?
To be honest, no, teacher. It's the first time I hear that word. What does it mean?
Well, forsake means to leave someone who needs or counts on you. Leave in the lurch. So, you've learned that new word, now you have to use it in a sentence. Why did you forsake me? Well, this sentence is similar to, why did you abandon me? You can use that, of course. But you want to use new vocabulary, so you need to use the new word. Forsake. Now, you know what forsake means, but you need to use it in different grammar times. So, you will have to learn all the variations of this verb. Because you can say, you forsake me. I forsake you. They forsake me. But that's only in present simple. You need to use it in different grammar times because that's how native speakers speak. So, go to the internet and search for the variations of the word forsake. Or use a dictionary. Forsake in present simple, forsaking in present continuous, forsook in past simple. Forsaken, will forsake, and so on. Okay, so now that you know its variations, you can use that verb in hundreds of sentences and questions so you can memorize it. Why did you forsake me? I haven't forsaken you. He is forsaking me. I won't forsake you. Create as many sentences as possible. A lot of them. Until that word is very familiar to you. That's the best way to learn a new word.
That's fantastic. But what if I have to use that word months from now and I don't remember it?
That's why you'll create a lot of sentences with that new word. To memorize it faster than usual. And not only that, it will become part of your vocabulary, and you know what's the best part? You will want to use that word all the time. Seriously, it happened to me. Every time I learned a new advanced word, I wanted to use it, always. And it really works. That's how you're gonna improve your vocabulary. Now this is something very important. You not only want to learn English, you want to use it for real-life situations. Am I right?
Yes, teacher. I need to speak English from real life, not just English from books.
Yeah, I know that. Then, you will have to do this. Do you remember I told you to make as many sentences as possible?
Yes, you said I have to use that new word to create a lot of sentences in many grammar times.
All right. But you won't just invent the sentences. You will associate the words. You will associate this new word to your life. The real life. Do you know how? Well, it's easy. For example, if you learn the word intrepid. Do you know what it means?
Yes, I've heard that. Intrepid means invulnerable to fear or intimidation.
Very good. Well, now you will have to use it. I am very intrepid. Are you intrepid? Or that intrepid man is walking towards the gas station. When I have a child, he will be very intrepid. I remember I wasn't intrepid in the school. Do you understand what I mean? Use the word in different context and different grammar times. But with real-life sentences. With real examples. Sentences about your life. It worked really well for me, and it can also work for you if you do it every time you learn a new word.
Yes, teacher. That's a very valuable information. I promise I will practice that. Now, I need to know more advanced vocabulary. Can you make a video about that, please?
Of course. But only if our subscribers like the idea. Do you want a video with advanced English words?
If you do, please like this video and comment. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you liked this conversation. If you could improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend, and if you want